Dozens of inmates at the Bonneville County Jail have tested positive for COVID-19. Bonneville County Sheriff Paul Wild says the symptoms started showing up last week.
The inmates were tested and the results came in last night. Local News 8 reporter Chelsea Breyer tells us how they're trying to control the virus from inside the jail.
Sheriff Paul Wild says 34 out of the 35 inmates housed in one unit of the Bonneville County Jail have tested positive for COVID-19.
The jail has been very good about using their masks and making sure that we're taking best precautions. But even the best precautions, we still have it in our community. So we still have it in our jail.
The sheriff says those inmates are asymptomatic. Skylar Briggs recently bonded out from Bonneville County Jail.
From my perspective of it, everybody was in their coffin. And
he says the jail staff denied the presence of COVID-19 in their facility, even though inmates and staff both appear to be sick. He claims jail staff were rude to him for being concerned for his own safety.
I feel like the jail is not as clean as they say it is. I mean, the cell I was put into was absolutely disgusting. Food just left on the floor, and they don't clean them like they're supposed to.
The sheriff says 3 staff members have also tested positive in the last 3 to 4 weeks. They have self-isolated and have been off duty. 2 of them have returned to work.
To me, them going to each pod, one officer going to each pod, it's just a way to spread the virus throughout the jail.
The sheriff says jail staff have implemented procedures to keep that housing unit isolated in an effort to slow or stop the spread within the jail. The sheriff also says inmates are not moving from unit to unit. He says staff routinely check on the inmates every 30 minutes. The jail is currently holding 312 inmates out of their 525 max capacity. The sheriff says they are writing citations more for misdemeanors instead of booking people into jail. He says all inmates are screened and isolated when they first enter the jail. He also says staff is cleaning and sanitizing routinely. Brittany Stamper says her fiance was the first inmate who tested positive last week. He's still dealing with his symptoms.
I know that he says that his head's pounding, his entire body, all of his joints, they ache. Like, it's terrible. He says it's barely bearable.
Reporting in Idaho Falls, I'm Chelsea Breyer.
Well, the sheriff's office says if you're concerned for an incarcerated loved one, you can certainly contact jail administration with questions. And then, of course, moving south, one county, Bingham County, Chronicle newspaper reports that Sheriff Craig Rowland told commissioners Friday he's having to move staff around to cover the vacancies at his jail left by officers who have tested positive for COVID-19.